McFarlane Toys have just released Silver Age Batman and Ace the Bat-Hound. But what do we think of these two? Is it worth another Batman in your collection? Let's find out now. Hi all, Chris here, and today we're taking a look at another McFarlane Toys figure. It's been a while since I've reviewed a McFarlane Toys figure. We had a Batman and a Joker last year, but there have been so many that have come out this year that I've been really drawn to. The Silver Age Batman's no exception, really. I really wanted to get this in hand, and we're going to just get straight into it. Let's start by taking a look at this box. And whereas this is a standard blister pack from McFarlane Toys that we're used to, with standard colour schemes for DC, I always love the fact that we can see these figures straight away. And if you're buying them in a shop, obviously gives you the opportunity to check out the paintwork as well. Pick the figure that you absolutely want. Particularly excited to see Ace the Bat-Hound when we get him out. Not a great deal on the sides, just the name there as we're used to. Always look nice sideways on a shelf. On the back, I love this Silver Age Batman comic cover. I think it looks awesome. Really, really nice detail. And I really love seeing that on the back instead of just images of what the figure looks like holding his accessories. So that's really good to see. Bright and inviting to, pick up and look at. But let's start by having a look at the accessories of this figure. And there aren't many, it's got to be said. Couple of sets of hands and this Batarang. So we'll take a look at the Batarang first. And I mean, it's well made. I mean, there's a couple of little, I don't love, with McFarlane, I always find this, that some of the edges aren't great, a little bit rough. But the Batarang looks fine. We've got a pair of gripping hands here as well. Again, the edges look like they could do with a little bit of sanding down. Not a great deal of detail on these, but I think the blue colouring matches well with the Batman figure itself. And then we've got these great outstretched, almost clawing hands. I really like them. They'll be able to give Ace a nice scratch on his head, I'm sure. But yeah, these are quite nice dynamic hands that would be good for posing. But that's it, really. They're the accessories. You don't get much in these figures, but that's what you get with McFarlane Toys sometimes. Let's move on to the figure himself. And at first glance, I think this Batman looks really, really nice. I think the colour scheme on him is great and really evokes the Batman look that we see in that comic front that we got on the back of the box. I really like some of the cell shading they've gone for as well. It's not something that I think translates to figures particularly well, but in this case, I think the black on the front of the mask looks pretty good. I like the look of that, and the blue into the nose there as well. I've seen this standard Batman mold a lot, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. But I love the grey and the blue. I think that it's such a classic Batman colour scheme, isn't it? Really evokes sort of the 40s and 50s Batman. So I'm really pleased with this so far. And we'll just turn him around and we'll take a look at this glorious wide cape as well. Really love that. It's quite shiny, and I guess that's the material that they've gone for. But I don't really care. I think the wide cape is brilliant for it. We'll just take a look under it. There's not a lot to see there. It's just the same colour scheme that we've seen on the front. But I really like it. I think that it's quite impressive, actually. It's a clean figure. Really, really do think it looks nice. And we're just having a look at that old school belt that's on there as well. And a little bit of cell shading on the pants as well. I don't mind the way that the cape is tucked into the neck either. We'll just take a quick look at articulation. And yeah, the head's quite tough, but there is full 360-degree head movement there, which is reasonably nice. And there isn't a great deal of movement on the up and down on the head there, but it's okay for Batman. The arms are always where the articulation works well. There's a butterfly joint at the top of the arm. There's a good T-pose. It swivels at the top of the arm as well. There is a double joint in that elbow. And then there will also be twist and pivot on the wrist there as well. So no issues with the articulation on the arms there. And the arms do sit quite flat. There is pretty good ab crunch on here as well. Definitely moving backwards anyway. There isn't a great deal moving forwards, but he definitely moves backwards quite a lot. So it's quite dynamic there. And there is a twist in the waist as well, which is always good to see. Just gives you a little bit more imposing. Great kick out to the side. I like that at the top of the leg. Just move this a little bit so we can see the forward. The forward kicks out very well as well. Not a great deal of movement in the back, but that was what could to be expected. There is a double joint in the knee, which is really nice. And there is the same sort of twist and forwards and backwards movement. Not a great deal of swivel in the ankle, but there is a good sideways movement and forwards and backwards on that. So there'll be a decent amount of movement that you can do there. There is also the joint in the toe as well, which I love. So that's Batman, but that is not the only character that comes with this box. So let's take a quick look at Ace the Bat-Hound. So here is Ace, and I think this is a really well detailed figure. I was going to say accessory then, and let's be honest, he probably is a bit of a glorified accessory, isn't he? He doesn't have any articulation, and we're very light on the other accessories. But looking at the figure itself, I love the collar with the little bat logo on there as well. I'm not hugely keen on the paint job they've done on the teeth. I think it's a little bit messy in places, but everything else, I think the way that they've recreated this German Shepherd style dog looks really good. I think that the fur on him is really effective. The proportions of the legs and the muscles on the dog look really good. And I love the mask as well. So I am very pleased with him. And I think the mask looks great. If we have a focus in on that, I think that it's a really nice looking mask. And, it's just a shame he doesn't have any articulation. But there we go. It'll still look great on a shelf with Batman. So let's get them into some poses and we'll have a little chat about them. So I think in general, I really like this Batman. I think that if you are looking for a more classic looking figure and you don't want to go for the Batman live action series Batman, then I think something like this, the Silver Age Batman, would be a really good one to go for. I don't think they're breaking a great deal of new ground with this figure, because like I say, it's the same mold that we've seen on so many of the Batmans in recent times. But if you are looking for something with a unique selling point, then Ace the Bat-Hound is surely that unique selling point. I think that Ace looks awesome. I'm really pleased that they've gone that route. But Batman himself, the articulation on him is great, and you can put him into some fantastic poses. I think that the cape always sells it well. If you can get a nice fabric wired cape that I love, then you're always going to have a fun time posing him in a number of places. And I just think that the cleanness of the two colours on here, the grey and the blue, make this really easy for photography. I think it'll pop on your shelf as well against so many black or dark grey Batman figures. This will really shine in, alongside those. So I really like it. And there are a number of other Batmans that have these color schemes as well. So if you're looking to keep that color scheme in the, on the shelf that you've got, then this is a great addition to that collection. So I do really like the Batman. The Batarang, I think, goes well in his hand, but there isn't really much else to say about the accessories, is there? This Batarang looks fine. It's functional in that it fits in his gripping hand. That there's not a lot else to say about it. It's not particularly big. It's not particularly exciting as an accessory. So I always think that's a bit of a letdown. The accessory really is Ace, isn't it? Let's be honest. So I think Ace is great, and I think Ace will look fantastic on your shelf. And if I had to choose between Robin and Ace as my sidekick, I mean, I'm picking Ace every day of the week, right? He's awesome. He's just so reliable. And look at his cool mask as well. It's great. So yeah, I really like Ace. I think he's such a clever choice of character to put with this Batman. They could easily have done it another Robin. And the fact that we're getting this figure with this additional, character, if you want to call it that, or accessory, and we're not paying any more for that, I think that's good. There could have been a choice from McFarlane to add to the cost because of this sort of level of accessory that we're getting with the Batman. But no, it's the same cost as normal, so I like that. I picked this up for $24.99. I'm sure you can find it for slightly more or slightly less than that in local stores. But yeah, in summary, really like the Batman. I think that he is a nice addition to your collection, but if you've got tons of Batmans, you might be seeing more of the same if you pick this one up. But drop down in the comments and let me know what you think of this Silver Age Batman, and obviously Ace the Bat-Hound, because he's such a good boy. And please also hit that like button as well if you've enjoyed the video. It is incredibly helpful to me. And also consider subscribing to my channel for more of these action figure reviews and news. We have the McFarlane Superman 78 figure review coming up very soon. So if you want to see that video, hit the subscribe button. You'll be notified when I drop it. And also our community would love to have you here. So come and join us. But regardless, if you like Batman, why don't you check out this video next? Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you all take care. Bye now.